Hi everyone, it is me, Rainbow Bright or Wisp Bright here, and today I'm going to talk about how, you know, why I was entrusted to put cast and beauty and brightness into the world, and light too. As everyone knows, of my yesteryear, I've been doing this for like 40 years, soon to be, well, I guess 41 years now. And so God and Jesus, chose me to be Rainbow Bright. Well, one day I was, asked by a ball of light, which was God and Jesus, put it that way, it was God and Jesus, one or the other, both, you know, if I wanted to help bring light and beauty and cast and brightness to a world that once had it, but had lost it. And I said, yes, I would. Because, God gives mankind and womankind free will, either to do good or to do evil, and also gives us the skill, also gives us the wisdom to learn from mistakes. Now, when I first got to this world, it was dark. There was no brightness, no light, no cast, no beauty to speak of. Well, there was some. They seemed to be a lot of, beings in this world that seemed to be happy with the way things were. Like these trees that I met, who, well, let's just say they weren't too happy about, wanting to have green leaves and have birds in their arms. And also, when I first met Twink, who was a sprite or soul, and unlike all the others, at one time his cast in the beginning was red. How we know this? Because at least he still had the red nose, and his feet seemed to still be red. But a long time ago, I don't know how long ago, as he told me, Merkwell Dismal, on the oversight of the King of Shadows, put him in the hells, or the holes, and he lost all his cast that way. Well, at first we were looking for the Sword of Light, and later on we ended up meeting other folks who were frozen too by the King of Shadows, and I also happened to meet and free Starlight, who was the only horse that I knew of that could talk. So there were the three of us going through binds, most of them, being, and in the King of Shadows having Merkwell Dismal and Lurky seek to stop us from getting the Sword of Light, and which led us to being in a waterway. And that's when we really thought that we thought we were in a bind then. But luckily, God let me wash me up on shore where there was a baby, along with Twink, who was on a board, and Starlight, who got to swim there. Now, not knowing who this baby was or why she was there, I knew that I had to take care of her. Not knowing at the time this baby was the likeness of the Sword of Light, which was the likeness of God, and led us to a hollow which had the rainbow strap, which Starlight told me there was a saga at one time that someone had the rainbow strap, and through the rainbow strap they could bring cast and beauty and light into the world. And this was a saga he heard. He don't know how far back he heard it, but he's believed it was a saga because no one ever saw the rainbow strap until we seeked it. So God led us to that. Now, I also met up with the other cast kids who were locked up long ago by the King of Shadows. One would be Red Butler, another one is Buddy Blue, Canary Yellow and Lila Orange, Sky Violet, and Patio Green. Soon while Moonglow and Tickle Me Pink and Stormy would show up later on. After doing all this, I then had to go fight the King of Shadows, who had taken the baby due to Merkwell, Dismal, and Lurky putting us in another bind, making us think that quicksand was some kind of lake, or some kind of pool, or some kind of body of water. Well, and somehow we were in a bind, and he had gotten a baby somehow. And to make a long saga short, we ended up getting to the stronghold, and I ended up fighting the King of Shadows. Now, don't ask me who the King of Shadows is, and don't ask me how long he lorded over what would become Rainbow Land again, or what the land was before he took over it. And this is when I learned that the Sword of Light, the baby, was really God and Jesus, and working through me and with me, beat the King of Shadows. And no, he never did come back. He was the only self in my drawing show done by Deep Glee to never ever come back. After this, Rainbow Land became bright again, had light, had beauty, had brightness, except for the hells or the holes. They were the only slight of Rainbow Land that kept, gloom. Why? I don't know. And after that, God says, "For now on, you've shown yourself to be worthy, and for now on, you will be known as Rainbow Brite. You will be entrusted to oversee the cast in beauty and brightness and light, and not this world, but all worlds. You will also have to fight those who will wish to take away the light." And I said, "I will," giving my oath. And God said, "I know you will," and I said, "I will." So that's how I became, Rainbow Brite. And on offshooting from all the other sagas of my show, those two would have been the more frightening out of all the other sagas of my Deep Glee show. Now, when I talked about the quicksand, sadly, that happened in the free dip following, and I just, made a mistake of talking about that. Now, before I end this film, you might ask yourself and say, did that mean you were done dealing with fighting with folks? No, I still had to do with Merkwell Dismal and all his sundriest goals to take the cast in beauty and brightness and light out of all worlds. And I dealt with the Dark Aldeling at least 2 times. So anyway, that's the whole saga about how I became Rainbow Brite, how I was entrusted in the behalf of God and Jesus with the cast, the beauty, the brightness, the love. It's not me who does it. It's God that does it. He works with me and through me to do it. So God is the one who gets the thanks for it, because it's him. So anyway, I hope you all like this film, and I will see you later.